It is time for Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online, where tonight the Royals will host the Panthers of North Central in what looks to be a rather high-scoring affair once we get the varsity game underway. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Southeastern basketball on ASO. My name is Brian Scott. Thanks for coming out and joining me on a Friday night in which we expect to see some hot action on a cold December night. It's going to get cold this weekend, might even have quite a bit of snow, but here at Hamilton Southeastern Gymnasium should be pretty hot action, especially when we get varsity action underway. But first, we're going to have some junior varsity competition here as the Royals take on the Panthers. The JV team of North Central is head coached by Reese Cheatham, and we are going to learn the starting lineup about the same time you will.
The forward is a 6'5" freshman, number 10, Charlie Peterson. Also a forward, a 6'1" junior, number 30, Galen Davis. And the third guard, a 6'3" junior, number 4, A.J. Wright.
So Reese Cheatham will use the three-guard lineup, as it will comprise of Terrence Dixon, Richard Hardister, and A.J. Wright. The forwards are Charlie Peterson and Dalen Davis, and that is how the Panthers, clad in black, will start this JV game. Both coaches rather late in getting lineups out there, so I wasn't able to get them before we had to retreat to our broadcast position. But for Coach Dave Merrick at Hamilton Southeastern, this lineup is very, very familiar. Nick Bowman, Matt Harris, and DeLand Hooks. They will be the three guards that start for the Royals. The forward will be Chris Grubbs, and the freshman, 7'1" from Sudan, is Mabar Majak. So once again in the backcourt for the Royals, Bowman, Matt Harris, and DeLand Hooks. Grubbs and Majak comprise the front court for Hamilton Southeastern. We're ready for some basketball here in Fishers, Indiana. Glad you could join me here on Audio Sports Online. Brian Scott with you, flying solo tonight, as I probably will be for much of the season, as Hamilton Southeastern playing their second consecutive weekend of back-to-backs. They played last Friday here on a game you saw on Audio Sports Online, which they pretty well demolished Avon. Then they went to Ohio and had to rally in the fourth quarter, but they picked up their third win of the season, did the varsity squad, and they'll play North Central tonight, the number 2 ranked team in the state of Indiana in Class 4A, before going to Southport for the Forum tip-off, and they will play Fort Wayne Snyder. But we're ready for some basketball here in the JV game. It'll be Majak jumping setter against Dalen Davis, or excuse me, that is Charlie Peterson. The Royals control the opening tip-off, and as they head into the front court, they will look at a man-to-man defense. Majak down on the low blocks, throws it out, almost threw it away, but Harris was able to retreat. He gives it to Grubbs beyond the arc. Over to Harris, wide open three is on its way, and it's up and good as Matt Harris has the first bucket of the game for Southeastern, and they lead 3-0. Coach Dave Merrick's JV squad has been playing very, very good basketball to start this season, and they'll start the defense in a man-to-man as this ball, good fast hands by Bowman. It's tipped, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and that foul is going to go against Hamilton Southeastern, their first team foul. And Nick Bowman will be hit with his first personal. Inbounding the basketball is Richard Hardister, and he gets it into the hands of Wright. Back to Hardister, sends it out to the wing. Three ball is on its way. That shot no good. Grubbs controls the miss from Peterson, and the Royals will bring it into the front court. They lead 3-0. We've played almost a minute here in the opening quarter of play from Hamilton Southeastern High School. I'm Brian Scott. And here's the ball almost thrown away, but kicked back to Harris, and they'll reset the offense. Over to Grubbs. Chris Grubbs has had pretty nice couple of games here for Coach Dave Merrick's JV squad. Harris over to DeLand Hooks. Hooks looking to feed Majak, lobs it into the blocks. Majak backs it in, but now throws it away, intercepted by Dixon. North Central comes into the lane, loses it briefly, but there to pick the basketball up is Charlie Peterson. And the Panthers have their first points of the night. They trail 3-2 with 5:24 left to go in the first quarter. This is Chris Grubbs, drives it in, sends it out to Hooks. Hooks sends it out to Harris between the circles. And back right side to Grubbs. And Grubbs is going to be called for traveling as he took a step before putting the ball out on the court. 5:10 left to go, opening quarter. 3-2 Southeastern with the lead, but the Panthers with basketball looking for possibly their first lead of this contest. They tried to feed it. Now the pass is stolen away. Here's Harris driving right side of the lane, throws it up with the right hand. Shot no good. Majak tried to tip it in, but was too far under the basket, and the Panthers come back the other way. Underneath the basket with a right hand off the glass. Shot no good by Hardister, and Majak has the rebound, and Hooks brings it into the front court. Bounce pass, throws it away as he was trying to find Bowman underneath the basket. Here's North Central driving, and with a right hand up off of the glass is A.J. Wright. And the Panthers have their first lead at 4-3 with 4:29 left to go in this first quarter. Bowman picks it up, now gives it to Hooks. Hooks finds Majak. Majak, he finds Grubbs. Nice find, but Grubbs can't finish it. And Majak, as he tried to get the rebound, it goes off of a Panther, and the Royals will keep the basketball. Deland Hooks will depart. Cole Hornbuckle will enter the lineup for head coach Dave Marica's JV Royals, and Bowman will trigger the inbounds. He lobs it into the 7'1" Majak. Majak in the lane. His shot too strong. It goes out of bounds, and shielding it was Richard Hardister, and the Panthers have the basketball, leading by 1 with 4:08 left to go in this first quarter of play. Should see a good crowd tonight here at Hamilton Southeastern. Here's a three. That is well short. Grubbs has it. He will outlet trying to find Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle throws it in, but he throws it right into the hands of the Panthers. Panthers have numbers, and taking it himself with a layup is Terrence Dixon, and that is going to cause Coach Dave Marica to call a timeout as he's watched his squad with a few too many throwaways here, as they've been a little sloppy with the ball handling to start this basketball game. And they find themselves trailing by 3 with 3:46 left to go in this first quarter. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining us for Royals Basketball and Audio Sports Online. As the second-ranked North Central Panthers will take on your 15th-ranked Hamilton Southeastern Royals a little later in the varsity game. And, of course, next week we will be down at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum down in Indianapolis for the Mudsock Madness, as both the boys and the girls will be having their games down at the Coliseum. We will have the boys' games here on Audio Sports Online as the Panthers show a little bit of pressure. Grubbs has the basketball, and he will handle it himself and get it into the front court. Grubbs over to Nick Bowman. Royals trail by 3 with 3:34 left in the quarter. Bowman, he takes a direct path to the basket. He won't get the bucket, but the Panthers are going to be called for their first foul. And it's Charlie Peterson that is hit with the foul, and Nick Bowman is at the line to shoot a pair. And he'll hit his first points of the game as John Stroke enters the lineup for the Panthers, and Matt Harris will depart for the Royals, and John Fugate will take over as Harris hits both free throws, and the Royals now trail by 1, 6-5. Panthers throw it down low, ball on the court, and Fugate comes away with it for Southeastern. John into the front court, leaves it to Bowman, who finally gets a hold of it. He throws it back out to Fugate. Fugate back to Bowman, left side, three from the corner. That's no good. Ball tipped around. Grubbs has the loose ball. He tried to feed it to Bowman, throw it away, and trying to save it was A.J. Wright, but I think he stepped on the end lines, and it's going to give the ball back to Hamilton Southeastern. Southeastern trails 6-5, but they'll inbound underneath their own basket as they get it to Majak, back over to Fugate, who gives it up to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle to Grubbs. Grubbs left side Bowman. Bowman drives to the baseline, bump, loses the basketball, and coming away with it are the Panthers. A little bit of a turnover issue currently for the Royals, and now a whistle and a foul as Chris Grubbs is likely going to be hit with his first personal, second team foul. With 2:48 left to go in this first quarter of play, Southeastern trails 6-5, and now another substitution for Coach Reese Cheatham's, Panthers. Departing will be Terrence Dixon, and entering the contest will be Charles Walton. Panthers have the basketball up by 1. They get a high ball screen as Davis pops it from just inside the arc. Shot no good, and the ball is finally going to be called out of bounds off of, I believe, Mabor Majak. And the ball will stay down at this end in the possession of the Panthers as Davis will trigger the inbound from the baseline. He'll get it over to John Stroke. Stroke sends up top, back to Davis. 3-ball on the way. That ball's short. Grubbs has the rebound for Southeastern. Chris gets it into the front court, takes it all the way himself, blocked from behind, and the Panthers come away with it. Good block coming from behind, I believe, by A.J. Wright. And the Panthers have the basketball up by 1. Wright sends it over to Walton. Walton back up top to Hardister, and as Hardister makes a move, he'll be called for steps as he shuffled the feet. That turnover will give the ball. Well, they'll say, yeah, it'll be a white ball. A little confusion as it looked like Panthers were going to try to take that ball out of bounds, but it does belong to Southeastern. Trailing by 1 with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in this first quarter of play. Panthers been in a man-to-man defense this entire game. They get it to the low block to Majak, wrap around, lays up off the glass. And Mabor Majak has his first points of the contest, and the Royals retake the lead at 7-6 with 1:44 left to go first quarter. Now Bowman is going to be called for a reach-in as he was trying to get the steal off of Richard Hardister. For Bowman, that'll be his second and the third team foul against Southeastern. So Bowman with 2 points and now 2 fouls with 1:42 left to go in the opening quarter. The Panthers will throw the ball into the backcourt where Dalen Davis will once again bring it across the timeline. He's picked up by Hornbuckle. They'll send it left side. This is Walton. Walton almost loses it, gathers it back, now leaves a pass very low for Stroke. Stroke hands it off to Davis. Davis left side as Panthers now having their own problems keeping a hold of the basketball. They feed down low to Walton. He had his shot blocked by Majak, and now here comes Southeastern the other way. Hornbuckle will take it himself, lay it off the glass, get the bucket, and draw the foul, and look for the and one. Dalen Davis will be hit with his first personal, and Cole Hornbuckle looking for the three-point play as he can give the Royals a 4-point lead. That one, though, is no good, and it remains a 9-6 advantage for Southeastern as we are approaching the 1 minute mark left in the opening quarter. Here's a long-range three, up and good. That is A.J. Wright. He has 5 points, and we are tied at 9. Under a minute left, 55 seconds to be precise in the first quarter of play. As into the lineup now is Bradley Beeman. He joins John Fugate, Nick Bowman, Cole Hornbuckle, and that is Mabor Majak. He sends it out. 3-ball on the way by Fugate. That's no good, but chasing the rebound down is Nick Bowman. Bowman, he finds Fugate driving the lane, and he won't get the bucket, but a good find by Bowman as Fugate coming from the top of the key drove down the lane. Good find, and Panthers are forced to foul. John Stroke will be hit with his first personal, third team foul, and that's going to send to the line John Fugate, who hits the first. Chris Grubbs will take a seat, as it is now Bowman, Hornbuckle, Beeman, as Fugate completes both free throws. Royals are 4 for 5 from the free throw line. They lead by 2. Here's another three. This one from the corner. That shot no good by Walton. Ball loose on the floor. Panthers come away with it, and Walton is able to pick it up and flush it with two hands to tie the game at 11. 17 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. This is Bowman. He'll send it up top. Fugate's three is on the way. That one's short off the rim. Hooks chases it and throws it into the hands of the Panthers with 6 seconds. North Central can get the basketball. They'll send out a long-range three. It's no good, and that is it at the buzzer as time has expired here in this opening quarter of play. And after 7 minutes, we are about the same place we were when we started this game. We are tied at 11. This is Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Back at Hamilton Southeastern High School, we're tied at 11 here in the junior varsity contest as we get ready for second quarter action. Royals doing some damage from the free throw line there in that first quarter. They were 4 of 5 from the free throw line after trailing for a portion of that quarter. And they will send out to begin the second quarter Chris Grubbs, Nick Booman, John Fugate, Cole Hornbuckle, and Bradley Beeman. For the Panthers, they will send Terrence Dixon, Charles Walton, Charlie Peterson, Leon Thompson, and A.J. Wright. Panthers have the basketball in a tie game. They lose it, but are managed to get it back as this falls in the hands of A.J. Wright. Just underway, second quarter, tied at 11. Here in the junior varsity game, varsity to follow, and now A.J. Wright loses the basketball. Thought he might have gotten bumped, but it goes off of Wright, and the Royals will have the basketball. Royals, Matt Harris led them in the first quarter with a three as the Panthers show some full court pressure, but Royals get into the front court. But they got some balance scoring as Nick Bowman, John Fugate, Cole Hornbuckle, as that shot no good. Mabor Majak all scored points. Panthers get it into the front court. They'll swing around left side. Wright's three from the corner. That rims out, no good. There to get the rebound, the putback, and one is Leon Thompson. He'll get the bucket and draw the foul. Bradley Beeman will be hit with his first personal fourth team foul, and at the line will be Leon Thompson for the three-point play. As Wright will depart, and Terrence Dixon returns the lineup for head coach Reese Cheatham of the Panthers. That free throw no good, and Hornbuckle comes away with it, almost loses actually to Lynn Hooks. My apologies. He'll give it to Chris Grubbs. Grubbs will finally hand it off, and bringing it into the front court will be Nick Bowman as he'll set up the offense, as he'll watch the Panthers now drop into a 2-3 zone. Panthers lead by 2. They get Grubbs. Right elbow finds Hooks down low, and Hooks puts it up and in. Delin Hooks with his first bucket, and we're tied at 13. 5:46 left to go first half, and a whistle as driving into the lane was Terrence Dixon. And a whistle which will bring on the 5th team foul for Southeastern. John Fugate will be hit with his first personal 5th team foul, and the Panthers will inbound from the baseline. Fine, cutting the basket, blocked by Bowman was Hardister, but he's able to get the ball back, tries to put it up once again. I believe Bowman there affected the shot, and the Panthers are turned away as the Royals look to take the lead here. Tied at 13 with 5:27 left to go in the first half. Fugate up top, here's Grubbs. He had a foot on the line, that's a 2. But Chris Grubbs has his first basket of the game, and the Royals retake the lead 15-13. Grubbs with that foot on the line, and now the Panthers don't lose it. Thought it was going to go out of bounds, but it didn't. Shot no good by Walton, and we have a whistle and a foul. As some of the student section said the ball went out of bounds, but no whistle. Josh Fugate with his second personal 16 foul, and at the free throw line will be Charlie Peterson. Peterson with 2 points, a bucket in the first quarter, and he hits the free throw. That's the first free throw the Panthers have made in this game. They're now 1 of 2. And Peterson looking to tie this game if he can make this free throw, which he does. 4 points for Peterson. Tied at 15 with 5:05 left to go in the first half. Grubbs, he finds Matt Harris, who's returned to the lineup. Grubbs has the basketball as he will send it back out to Harris. Harris back in the center jump circle. He has Hornbuckle to his right. Back to Harris between the circles, back to Hornbuckle on the right side. Double team comes. He tries to leave it to Bowman, but it's poked away by Dixon. Here comes the Panthers the other way. Dixon, he lays it up. It's good. And they'll get the player control foul called against, I believe, Charlie Peterson. That's his second. And wipe off the basket. We remain tied at 15 with 4:32 as the Panthers go into a 2-2-1 press. Matt Harris, he finds Bowman. Bowman, right side Grubbs. Grubbs drives baseline, puts it up, gets the kind roll. And Chris Grubbs has 4 points, and the Royals have a 17-15 lead. Ian Thompson with a basketball. He's double teamed. He hands it off to Peterson. Peterson gives it to Dixon, who's immediately met by Grubbs. Drives baseline, throws up a wild shot, hits the bottom of the rim. And coming away with it is DeLynn Hooks. Hooks into the front court. The Royals lead by 2. 3:51 left to go first half. They'll swing it around corner. This is a 3 ball. That's no good. The rebound comes into the hands of Matt Harris as none of the Panthers could surround the basketball, and the Royals will have another shot. They lead by 2. And they'll get it in the hands of Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle finds Hooks. Hooks down low. Grubbs spins. Lays it up. Reverse layup up and good. Chris Grubbs has 6 points. And the lead's 4 for Southeastern with 3:25 left to go in this first quarter. And we have a whistle. And a timeout looks like it's going to be called by head coach Reese Cheatham. His first timeout, a 30-second timeout with 3:23 left to go in this first half. And a game that has gone a little bit back and forth. The Royals now with a 4-point advantage. Referees right now discussing that call on the sideline here. It was right in front of the student section. They immediately thought the ball went out of bounds, but no call. So the Panthers, who have, like the Royals here in this game, have had some stretches here where they've been a little careless with the basketball. They call a timeout and see if they can settle something out of the timeout on a good offensive set. For Hamilton Southeastern, it's Hooks, Hornbuckle, Matt Harris, Nick Bowman, and Chris Grubbs. Those are the 5 out there for head coach Dave Marica. We'll get you the Panthers in just a second, but driving is Terrence Dixon. Dixon lays it off. This is Hardister into the hands of Josh Patterson now. And here's a steal by Grubbs. Grubbs takes it, lays it up off the glass. And Chris Grubbs has 8 points, all of them here in the second quarter. And it's the biggest lead of the contest for Southeastern. They lead by 6. Under 3 minutes left to go in the half. They'll send it left side. 3 ball on the way. High arcing shot. That goes over the basket. Richard Hardister's 3 from the corner is no good. And the Royals have the basketball. Dalen Davis will return to the lineup for the Panthers for Charles Walton. And leaving the lineup for Southeastern is Cole Hornbuckle. And he is going to be replaced on the court by Bradley Beeman. Meanwhile, Nick Bowman is into the front court, loses it, chases it back down as we hit 2:40 left to go second quarter. Royals lead 21-15. As Grubbs, who has scored 8 in the quarter, he hands it off to DeLind hooks. Royals patient right now, looking to run some offense. As Beeman gets the basketball, he'll give it to Bowman. They do a little bit of a weave up top. Now Bowman drives right hand, kicks it out to Grubbs. Grubbs gets a man in the air, drives baseline, tries for the flush. Won't get the bucket, but he is going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Dalen Davis will pick up his second team foul, number 5. And Chris Grubbs, who was scoreless in the first quarter, has 8 here in the second, and now his first 2 free throws of the night. He hits the first. Southeastern was 4 of 5 from the free throw line in the first quarter, and Grubbs makes their first free throw here in the second quarter. The Panthers did not shoot a free throw in that first quarter. They are so far 2 of 3 in this game. Grubbs hits both free throws as he's going to take a seat and get a nice hand from his teammates as Josh Fugate now into the lineup to replace Grubbs, who leaves with 10 points, all of them here in this second quarter. And one of the main reasons why Southeastern's up by 8 as we approach 2 minutes left to go in this first half. Hardister, right side, this is Dalen Davis. They find at the right elbow, shot is up. Shot no good by Patterson, but the rebound comes down into the hands of A.J. Wright, and Wright gets the bucket. Wright has 7 points. He had 5 of them in the first quarter. And the Panthers finally stop their drought here in this last 2 or 3 minutes. But they trail 23-17. Matt Harris drives, left-hand dribble, lays it up off the glass, and a nice move by the sophomore Matt Harris. He has 5 points. And it's back to an 8-point advantage. Driving a little out of control was Terrence Dixon, but he's going to be bailed out. And he's actually going to earn a trip to the free throw line because that is the 7th team foul against Southeastern. It is the second personal foul against Bradley Beeman. So Terrence Dixon will go to the line with a 1-on-1 in effect. Chris Katowski makes his first appearance in the ball game for head coach Dave Merica. He will watch as Dixon's free throw is good, so he makes the first. He'll get the bonus. Dixon had a bucket in that first quarter as Chris Grubbs is getting ready to check back in for the Royals. He has 10 points in the game. Dixon's second free throw, that rims out, and we have a whistle. And we're going to have a foul called as on the rebound. A.J. Wright is called for the personal, and it is the 16th foul. So both teams will be shooting the free throws for the remainder of this first half, which will last all of a minute and 18 seconds. 25-18, Southeastern with the basketball and the lead. They'll try to hit Katowski, and on a wild pass, Katowski, in trying to save it, had a foot on the end line, and the turnover gives the ball back to the Panthers, who trail 25-18 with a minute 11 left in the first half of play. Crowd starting to fill here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. We are expecting a big crowd for the varsity game as the Panthers have the basketball into the hands of Richard Hardister. He'll leave it to Dalen Davis. Davis lobs it over. He finds Dixon. Dixon sends it out. Here's Wright. He gets himself a little space but can't make the shot, and Grubbs has the rebound. 46 seconds remain in the first half. Southeastern leads 25-18. Bowman with the basketball, left-hand dribble, picks it up, has it poked away, and here come the Panthers. They've got a 4-on-3, and taking it all himself is Dalen Davis. He leaves the shot short, but chasing it down was Terrence Dixon. Dixon over to Hardister and back to Dixon with 25 seconds left, and now a kick ball, and the ball will remain in the hands of the Panthers with 24.3 seconds left, and North Central trailing 25-18. Davis triggers the inbound, gives it to A.J. Wright, who will now hand it off to Dixon as the Panthers will likely play for the final shot here in the half. As the Royals now go into a 2-3 zone. Here's a long-range three. It's up. It's good by Dalen Davis, his first points, as we are under 10 seconds left to go in the first half. It makes it a 25-21 game. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Here's DeLynn Hooks 3. It's good, and that's the buzzer. DeLynn Hooks hits the big 3 as the clock winds down, and as the teams go to the locker rooms at the half, Southeastern leads North Central by the score of 28-21. We are going to take a bit of a break here. Join us in about 8 minutes. We'll let you know some first half stats and get you ready for second half action. It's the junior varsity game between the Southeastern Royals and the North Central Panthers. The Royals lead them 28-21. This is Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School, halftime of the junior varsity game. And the Royals lead the Panthers of North Central by the score of 28-21. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Friday night. It's cold Friday night in Central Indiana, but guarantee you the action's going to heat up here as soon as this varsity game gets underway, as both these teams come in very high-scoring offenses. But right now, the JV team doing a fairly good job after a bit of a slow and sloppy start. They found themselves trailing for a period of time in that first half. They go on a nice run thanks to Chris Grubbs, who scored all 10 of his points there in that second quarter, and they lead the Panthers by the score of 28-21. Let's give you our halftime stats. Leading all scores is Chris Grubbs, who has 10 points, 5 points for Matt Harris and DeLynn Hooks, who hit that three as time wound down in that first half, I should say. Nick Bowman, Josh Fugate, Cole Hornbuckle, and Mabor Majak all have 2 points each. Bradley Beeman played, as did Chris Katalski in that first half, yet they did not score. Royals were 6 of 7 from the free throw line in the first half, and they did hit 2 3-point baskets. For the Panthers, they're led by A.J. Wright, who scored 7 points. It was 4 points for Charlie Peterson, 3 points each for Terrence Dixon and Dalen Davis, 2 points each for Leon Thompson and Charles Walton. And then you have Richard Hardister, John Stroke, and Josh Patterson. They all played. They did not score. The Panthers were 3 of 5 from the free throw line in the first half, and they hit 2 3-point baskets. And right now, both teams are back out onto the court as we get ready to begin second half action. The gym beginning to fill up here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. We are expecting a huge crowd for this varsity contest that'll pit number 2 North Central against the 15th ranked Hamilton Southeastern Royals. The Royals started the season unranked, but after some impressive wins against Muncie Central and then blowing out Avon last Friday night here at Hamilton Southeastern, the Royals are now ranked 15th in Class 4A. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to the varsity game. But as I said, a good crowd beginning to fill in here at Hamilton Southeastern. And if you couldn't make it out, we're glad you're tuned in this evening on Audio Sports Online. I'm Brian Scott. Be with you for a majority of this season, and we're going to be with you next Friday night at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum as the Royals take on the Tigers from Fisher. It is Mudsock Mania, Mudsock Madness down at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. We'll have the boys' game here on Audio Sports Online, but the girls will also be there. They'll be playing a game earlier in the evening at approximately 6:30 with the boys' game to follow. So big night down in Indianapolis is these two rivals. It hasn't really been that long of a rivalry when you come to think about it now, a little over 11 years, but it's become one of the biggest rivalries in Central Indiana, and we'll be bringing it to you live next Friday night from down at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum in Indianapolis. We're getting ready for second half action. The Panthers are in black with the white numerals and red trim. The Royals in the white with the royal blue numbers and trim. Getting a look at the lineups, and they'll be a little different to start the second half for head coach Dave Marica. He will start Josh Fugate instead of Nick Bowman, but he will join Matt Harris, DeLynn Hooks, Chris Grubbs, and Mabor Majak as the Royals have the ball to begin the second half. And for head coach Reese Cheatham, he has his same starting five of Dixon, Hardister, Wright, Peterson, and Davis on the court to begin the second half. Here's Mabor Majak all alone, and he flushes it easily with two hands. And that makes it the biggest lead of the night for the Royals at 9. Here's a three coming back the other way, and quickly Richard Hardister gets his first bucket here in the second half. It's a three from the corner, and that 9-point lead's immediately cut down to 7 as we are just underway in the third quarter of play. Both teams with a little bit of sloppy ball handling in that first half. As Majak, he cuts baseline, and now we have a traveling violation called against Chris Grubbs. Grubbs with a slow start in the first quarter, but scored all 10 of his points there in that second quarter that erased the Panther lead and gave the Royals the advantage of as much as 8 points during that run. Here's a long-range three by Dalen Davis. It's no good. Coming the other way is DeLynn Hooks. He'll take it himself, try and put it up. Majak can't get the rebound, but Grubbs gets the loose ball, puts it up, gets the bucket, and will go to the line. Chris Grubbs gets the bucket. The foul is going to go against the Panthers. And Peterson will be called for his third personal, first team foul here in the second half. Grubbs, who has hit both free throws that he has attempted, has now made all three. He has 13 points, and it's back to a 9-point advantage for Southeastern. They'll send it out right side. This is A.J. Wright in the lane, leaves it off for Charlie Peterson, and a whistle and a foul, and is going to be called against Southeastern, their first team foul of the second half. It's first foul on the Royals in the second half, but it is Josh Fugate's third personal. As Jalen Stroke is now in for the Panthers. They trail by 9, driving in the lane. Here's Stroke, the pass too hot, and coming away with it is Southeastern. They get Majak driving in the lane, and that's one of those that I think Josh Fugate's going to have to learn to give the big fella a little closer to the basket, but they will get the foul called on the Panthers. John Stroke, his second team foul. Looking to get it in. They finally find Grubbs. Grubbs has his shot blocked by Wright, but Majak chases the loose ball and sends it out to Matt Harris, and the Royals will have another possession. This is DeLind Hooks. Quick pass down low to Grubbs. Grubbs tried to send it over to Harris, but it's poked out of bounds by A.J. Wright. And the Royals will retain possession with 5:19 left to go in the third quarter. Up by 9, 33-24. As Matt Harris will trigger the inbound from the baseline. And he'll find Josh Fugate. Fugate finds Majak in the post. Cuts in the lane, left side. Almost had his shot blocked. As getting up was Richard Hardister, as the young freshman Mabor Majak is going to learn to keep that ball a little higher. Hardister will be picked with his first personal, third team foul, and Majak is at the line for a free throw, that high arcing free throw, but that one's no good. Majak at 7'1" will learn. He is still a freshman, and he has not been playing basketball all that long to keep that ball high, keep it up to where even the likes of a 6'1" guard would not be able to get it. He does get the second free throw. He sinks them both. He has 5 points. As Fugate will depart, and Bradley Beeman now in for head coach Dave Merica. They get the ball down low, and driving was Dalen Davis. He tried to send it out, and then we're going to have a whistle and a foul and a hold. Bradley Beeman will pick up his third personal, second team foul. So Fugate and Beeman both with 3 personals, as the Panthers have the basketball, trailing by 10. Here's A.J. Wright. His little right-hand floater is up and good. Wright has 9 points. 34-26, 4:49 left to go third quarter. As Beeman makes a move and hands the ball to DeLynn Hicks, we'll have a whistle stopping play and a foul called against the Panthers of North Central. That's Terrence Hickson called for his first personal, but the 4th team foul. Beeman lobs it up to Majak. Majak sends it out to Harris. Harris drives. Little floater high off the glass is no good, and the Panthers come away with a rebound. Royals get back in transition, and the Panthers will send it to Davis. Davis will launch the 3 from beyond the arc. Shot no good. Rebound finally controlled by Southeastern. Coming the other way are the Royals. Royals find DeLynn Hooks, and DeLynn Hooks will get the bucket. Hooks with 7 points, and it's back to a double-digit lead for Southeastern as we hit 4:07. Long-range 3 by Dixon's no good. Beeman with a rebound. He takes it, and he's trying to feed Matt Harris, and the ball will go out of bounds and belong to North Central as Dave Merica rubs the temple a little bit. That has been a problem in this contest for not only his squad, but Reese Cheatham's as well. Both teams a little sloppy with their ball handling in this game as Dixon sends it out to the right side to Wright. Wright gets the basketball back. He'll drive the lane, try to lay it up, but no good. Majak has the rebound. He gives it over to Beeman. Royals lead by 10, 3:38 left to go in the third quarter. This is Grubbs with 13 points. Hooks has it poked away, but is able to get it back at the center jump circle. Drives, right side lane, loses it as he went up, but he's going to be bailed out as he is going to be fouled. Dalen Davis will pick up his third personal, 15 foul. And Dylan Hooks will be at the line to shoot a pair. He has 7 points. This is his first free throw attempt. And he hits the first of 2. Dalen Davis with those 3 fouls and 3 points will leave as Charles Walton will re-enter the lineup for Coach Reese Cheatham and the Panthers. Hook's second free throw, he nails them both. DeLynn now has 9 points, and the lead is the largest for Southeastern at 11. Now here's a ball that almost thrown away. Grubbs goes onto the floor trying to get it. Good hustle, but the ball will belong to the Panthers. Is entering the lineup, Brandon Miller for the first time tonight. He'll give Mabur Majak a rest. Majak leaves with 5 points. And the Royals have their biggest lead of the night at 12, 38-26. Here's a 3 on the way. That one is short by Hardister. The long outlet to Harris. Harris lays it up and in. Royals take the long rebound, get the nice outlet, and convert it into points, and now lead by 14. And a whistle and a foul as trying to make a move toward the cup was Richard Hardister. He's going to be fouled. And Matt Harris will be charged with his first personal. 13 foul as Bradley Beeman will depart. And into the lineup is Cole Hornbuckle. Panthers with the basketball, trailing by 14, 2:43 left to go in the quarter. That long-range 3 from the top of the key is short, getting the rebound and the putback no good. But the Panthers on the third try from Richard Hardister, he'll get the bucket, and it'll make it a 12-point game at 40-28 with 2:27 left to go in the third quarter. This is Hornbuckle with the basketball as he's been looking over that Panthers man-to-man. They feed down low to Grubbs. Grubbs with 13 points. Back up top, Harris's 3 from the top of the key. A little long, and the rebound comes down to Charles Walton. The Panthers quickly back the other way. Right elbow is cut off by Dixon. He'll have to send it back out to John Stroke. Hardister will get the ball back. A little left-hand runner. Won't get the bucket, but another whistle, another foul. 4th team foul against Southeastern. And the personal foul will go against Cole Hornbuckle. That's his first, and Richard Hardister will be at the line to shoot a pair. He hits the first. He now has 6 points, all of them in this third quarter. Josh Fugate, Mabor Majak back into the lineup. The Royals as Matt Harris and Chris Grubbs depart. Dalen Davis returns to the lineup for the Panthers. He has 3 personal fouls. Hardister's second free throw is good, and with that, he is going to take a seat, as will John Stroke. And actually, we have a whole host of changes right now for North Central. Is Jordan Bigham now into the game. As Josh Fugate, he'll get the bucket. He has 4 points. And it's a 42-30 lead with 1:36 as driving with the basketball is Wright. He tries to go up against the big 7'1" Mabor Majak, and Majak's going to be called for the personal foul. That's his first 15 foul against Southeastern. And A.J. Wright is at the line to shoot a pair. This is his first free throws of the night. He has 9 points for the Panthers. And that free throw rims out. Leon Thompson now into the lineup for the Panthers. Meanwhile, Wright missed the first one. He did make the second one. And he is now in double figures with 10 points, but the lead is still double figures at 11. 42-31 with 1:26 left to go in the third quarter of play. Hornbuckle leaves the ball off to Miller. Miller back to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle swings left side. This is Fugate with the basketball. He'll drive in the lane, kick it out. Miller from about 16 feet, too long. Majak with a rebound, and he'll send it out to Fugate. Fugate left side, three-ball hooks from the corner. That's up and good. DeLynn Hooks with his second three-point basket, and he has 12 points in the basketball game as we are under a minute left. Shot no good. Here come the Royals the other way. Fugate drives, kicks it out. Majak from about 8 foot. Shot long, and as we go for the rebound, DeLynn Hook is going to be called for an over-the-back, his first personal. 16 foul against Southeastern with 45.3 seconds remaining in the third quarter, but Southeastern holds a 14-point lead at 45-31. As the Panthers bring it into the front court, this is Dalen Davis. He'll drive. He'll have his shot blocked by Majak, and here come Southeastern leading by 14 with 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. As Josh Fugate looked like he was trying to get the ball over to maybe Majak, but he was tripped up, and the foul will be the 16 foul against the Panthers, but it's Dalen Davis's fourth. Terrence Hickson is back in, Josh Patterson as well, and the Royals have the basketball up by 14 with 22 seconds left to go in the third. Crowd filling in at Hamilton Southeastern High School, ready for the varsity game to follow JV action tonight. They feed Majak down in the low post. The left-hand hook shot is up, a little strong. Coming down with a rebound and chasing it down finally is Terrence Dixon for the Panthers. And the Panthers will bring it into the front court and not get the shot off as the clock expires. A good, strong third quarter for Hamilton Southeastern. They led by 7 after the end of 2 quarters, and after the end of 3 quarters, they lead by 14. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. This is Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Getting ready for the fourth quarter here at Hamilton Southeastern High School as the Pep Band has made their first appearance at home this season. And we're getting ready for the fourth quarter with Southeastern leading the Panthers of North Central 45-31. DeLynn Hooks with 7 points in a quarter that the Royals outscored the Panthers 17-10. Only Richard Hardister and A.J. Wright were able to put up any points for the Panthers in that third quarter, as the Royals took their 7-point lead and extended it by doubling it to 14. And we will begin the fourth quarter with the Panthers having control of the basketball, and driving right side of the lane is Terrence Dixon, and a whistle and a foul, and that will be the 17th foul against the Royals. So the bonus is now in effect. Bradley Beeman will be hit with his 4th personal foul, and he will depart. And Chris Katowski will return to the lineup for head coach Dave Marica, while Terrence Dixon is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. The Panthers were 3 of 4 from the line in that quarter, while the Royals were 4 for 5. That free throw is long, and it comes down into the hands of the Panthers, and then they lose it, and the ball will belong to Hamilton Southeastern. On the floor for the Royals right now is Cole Hornbuckle, Josh Fugate, Chris Grubbs, Chris Katowski, and Mabor Majak. They lead by 14 as we are just underway here in the fourth and final quarter. Grubbs sends it to Majak. Majak gets his man in the air, but now will send it out to Fugate. Fugate finds Hornbuckle, drives in the lane, puts it up, and gets the kind roll. Hit it off the back iron, but managed to get it to drop, and it's the biggest lead of the night for Southeastern at 16, 47-31 with 6:20 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. Driving and kicking left side was Bingham, and now a whistle and a foul will be called. And Cole Hornbuckle will pick up his second personal, and it's the 8th team foul. So at the line is Liam Thompson, and he hits the free throw and will get the bonus. He's now 1 of 2 from the line. We'll see if he can make it 2 of 3. 47-32, that's our score. 6:14 left to go in the fourth quarter. Thompson misses the second free throw. Having a chance for the rebound was Hardister. He couldn't come up with it, and here come the Royals the other way. Grubbs takes it, leaves it short. Might have been partially deflected. Panthers take it back the other way. And almost losing it is Thompson. He'll gather it back up, and now the Panthers will set up the offense. They trail 47-32 with under 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Pulling up from just beyond the free throw line. The shot no good by Bingham. Southeastern has the rebound. Fugate brings it across the timeline as the Panthers stay man-to-man. Gives it to Hornbuckle, lobs it down to Majak. Majak works with left hand, lays it up and doesn't get the bucket. Goes and follows it up and gets the rebound and the putback. He now has 7 points, and it's a 49-32 Southeastern lead. Long-range three coming. That is well short. Fugate has the rebound off of the Dixon miss, and he'll bring it into the front court. Fugate to Grubbs. Grubbs with 13 points in the game. He just a little right-hand scoop, no good. Majak followed but couldn't control the basketball, and here come the Panthers. 2-on-2, a little runner held up and hanging up in the air. Shot was no good by Bingham. Royals come the other way. Here is Katowski for 3. That shot no good. And clearing the rebound is Peterson, but Majak steals it. And a whistle and a timeout, I believe, is going to be called by head coach Dave Merica of Hamilton Southeastern. So Majak a little more active, especially here in this second half, and we're going to have a full timeout. With 4:46 left to go in the fourth quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leads North Central 49-32 as we are in the fourth quarter of the junior varsity game. Varsity game to follow, and I would say that we're probably getting close to a 7:30, a normal tip-off time here from Hamilton Southeastern High School as the gym is beginning to fill. It'll be number 2, North Central, versus number 15, Hamilton Southeastern. Both these teams high scoring, as the Panthers have been averaging 92 points a game. Granted, they've only played 2, but they have put up some points, while the Royals in their 3 wins have averaged 82 points a game. And they were very close to the century mark last week in that win versus Avon. A.J. Wright will return to the lineup for the Panthers, and meanwhile, Coach Dave Merica, his 5 on the court for the Royals will be Chris Grubbs, Josh Fugate, Chris Katowski, DeLand Hooks, and Cole Hornbuckle. Royals lead by 17 with 4:46 remaining in this fourth quarter, and they will take it out from the sideline, throw it into the backcourt to Fugate, and Fugate will bring it back into the front court. He'll leave it to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle back to Fugate. Cutting to the basket was Katowski, but couldn't see him, and now we're going to have a blocking foul called against Liam Thompson. That's his first. It'll be the 17th foul, so the bonus is now in effect, and that'll send Josh Fugate to the line. Fugate has scored 4 points. He is 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and He has the 1-and-1. He makes the first. He'll get the bonus. Southeastern student section filing in en masse. As Fugate's second free throw is up and good. He is 4-4 from the free throw line, and that makes it a 51-32 Southeastern advantage. As I mentioned, the Southeastern student section filing in en masse, and it is going to be loud and boisterous as it normally is here at Hamilton Southeastern. Panthers have the basketball, trailing by 19. Driving and having a shot blocked was Charlie Peterson by Chris Grubbs, but a whistle before that. And actually they're going to call Grubbs. Looked like he had all ball, but he'll pick up his second personal, the 9th team foul against Southeastern, and Charlie Peterson will have a pair of free throws. He's 2 of 2 from the line, make it 3 of 3. Mabor Majak returns, as does Matt Harris. And Peterson will have one more free throw, and he hits them both. 4-4 from the line, 6 points for Charlie Peterson, but right now it is an 18-point Southeastern advantage with 4:15 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Fugate looks to Majak. He will drive and leave it to Mabor. Mabor sends it out to Matt Harris. Matt Harris back to Fugate. Fugate over to Chris Grubbs. Royals send it back out. Grubbs drives the lane, and he tries to throw it down with one hand. Just kind of missed it, but Fugate comes away with the loose ball. Tries to throw it off of a Panther. North Central has the ball. They send it down, and putting it up and in will be Charles Walton. Not sure if a Panther got any of that Chris Grubbs dunk. He just looked like he might have misjudged it. And the Panthers are able to convert on the other end, but it's still a 51-36 advantage for Southeastern. Here's Matt Harris driving the right side of the lane, and with a right-hand scoop, Matt Harris has the bucket. He has 9 points, and quickly back the other way is Dalen Davis with his first points of the second half. He has 5 points. But we are approaching the 3-minute mark left to go in the fourth quarter, and it's a 53-38 advantage, and being called for the foul will be Terrence Dixon, his second, team foul number 8 against the Panthers. 53-38, that is the score here with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. As Grubbs will depart, and now Nate Shetkowski will enter the lineup for Dave Merica. Fugate hits the free throw. Fugate is perfect on the night from the free throw line, currently 5 of 5. And he has 9 points. He misses that one, so the jinx put the jinx on him, and he missed his first free throw of the night. Still, Southeastern with a big lead, 54-38, as we're under 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And now a whistle, and Mabor Majak is going to be hit with a reach-in foul. Double bonus, in effect. It is the 10th team foul against. And Majak with his second personal. So the double bonus now in effect, and Charlie Peterson's at the line to shoot 2. He is 4-4 from the line, and he makes that. So he's perfect from the free throw line. We'll see if this can work in reverse. Currently has 7 points. And the second free throw is up. He did nail them both. And it is now a 16-point advantage for Southeastern with 2:54 left to go in this fourth quarter. And the Panthers are in the double bonus. They have committed 8 team fouls. So the Royals will steer in the 1-and-1. Here's a nice find underneath the end hooks from Josh Fugate. 14 points for Hook. Shot no good. Majak comes away with the rebound and finally stops and finds somebody to hand the ball off to, and that'll be Josh Fugate. 2:20 left to go, a 16-point advantage. And Shikowski finds Hooks, who gives it to Majak. Majak down on the low blocks, comes underneath, tries to do the wraparound reverse. It's no good. And coming away with the basketball is Charlie Peterson from the Panthers. They trail by 16. We are at 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Dalen Davis, long-range three. That's up. That's no good. Coming away, getting the rebound is Bingham. His shot no good. Loose ball brought down by Wright. He finds underneath the basket one Charles Walton. And Walton gets the bucket. He now has 6 points, and we have a timeout on the court. As the timeout is a 30-second timeout charge to the Royals' Dave Marica. That's his final 30-second. He has 2 full timeouts remaining. But there's a minute 42 left in the basketball game, and Hamilton Southeastern leads 56-42. Chris Grubbs with 13 points so far for the Royals. But now DeLynn Hooks has 14 points on the evening for Hamilton Southeastern, and he leads all scores. So we have 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining as the crowd filters in, as the JV game is winding down. And substitutions as Brandon Miller now checks back in. He'll join Matt Harris. Cam Harris also now into the game for Southeastern. And this is Brandon Miller with the basketball. Miller, left side to Matt Harris. Harris over to Brandon Miller. Minute 25 left to go in the fourth quarter. Matt Harris drives, right-hand floater. That's no good. And there is Mabor Majak getting up there and flushing it back down, flushing the miss. He has 9 points. Long-range three by the Panthers. That's no good, and they can't save it, or they do save it. Says they went off of a Royal as Rashawn Holden knocked it off of a Royal. 1:07 remaining in the contest as they floated up to Bingham. Bingham sends it right side to Charles Walton. Walton has, Patterson has his shot blocked by Majak. The Royals try to lead out. Majak was trying to flush the miss. Panthers come back the other way. A little right-hand runner, no good. Majak gets the rebound as he keeps it high. And with 42 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, Southeastern leads 58-42 as both teams missing on each end, and both teams now using a few of their bench players here for this final minute of play. This is Matt Harris, though. He started the game. He'll send it over to Nate Shatkowski. Shatkowski back to Harris. They go right side into the hands of Cam Harris. Harris finds Majak. Majak down low. He finds Brandon Miller on a nice feed, and Brandon Miller has his first points. 8 seconds remaining, and it's just a matter of what the final score will be as they try to feed it down low. The Royals come away with a loose ball, and that's the buzzer, and that's the ball game. Final score, Hamilton Southeastern. They beat North Central 60-42 in the junior varsity game. Give me about a few minutes. We'll give you final stats. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott back with you as the JV game has concluded, and the Royals come away with the victory, 60-42. Let's give you final stats for tonight's game. Leading all scorers with 14 points was DeLynn Hooks, 13 points from Chris Grubb, 11 points from Matt Harris, 9 points from Mabor Majak. It was 7 points from Josh Fugate. Saw 2 points from Cole Hornbuckle, Brandon Miller, and Nick Bowman. And then Bradley Beeman, Chris Katowski, Cam Harris, and Nate Shetkowski, they all played. They did not score. For the Panthers, they were led by 10 points from A.J. Wright, 8 points from Charlie Peterson, 7 points from Richard Hardister, 6 points from Charles Walton, 5 points from Dalen Davis, 3 points from Terrence Dixon, 3 points from Liam Thompson, and it was Rashawn Holden, John Stroke, Josh Patterson, and Jordan Bingham playing. They did not score. Final score in the JV game, Southeastern wins 60-42. Check back here in about 15 minutes. We'll bring you varsity action as the second-ranked Panthers take on the 15th-ranked Royals. This is Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online.